I'm Kira Morgan. Thanks for joining me. We are here at the Health and Human Services Building, and we are talking about Recovery Month, which is during the month of September, and there's some exciting things going on. And so with me, I have Jessica Palmer. Hi.
Hello, it's nice to see you.
So glad that you were able to join us today, and also Rick Booth, who's been involved with recovery activities for, we'll just say, many years.
Many years is good. You're not going to date me too far then. I've been around the block, you say.
So let's start with a little bit of introductions about Recovery and Wellbriety celebration and Recovery and Wellbriety Month. Jessica, can you tell us a little bit about this and what it means?
Absolutely. So Recovery Month has been around for 30 years now, and it is the idea that we want to be breaking down the stigma around addiction and mental health. You know, we know that in any given year, 1 in 5 U.S. adults has experienced a mental health illness or a mental health disorder. So substance use, mental health, all of these things are really, really common. And so Recovery Month is there to get people talking about addictions and resources and things like that. Break down those barriers so that when you do notice a change in yourself, in a friend or family member, a coworker, you can have those conversations and you can connect them to resources. It's also about celebrating all of the victories and walking with those that are living through recovery now and where they are in their story. You know, we know that addiction rewires the brain, and it's much bigger than just, I've chosen to stop, right? We know your brain's been reprogrammed, and, now it's craving these things, and it will seek out, whether that's a behavior like problem gambling, or if it's a substance like alcohol or tobacco, different things like that. So it's really there to celebrate all of the hard work and acknowledge where everyone is on their journey, as well as get people talking about this.
And that's the importance of Wellbriety, correct?
Right. Well, the Wellbriety, that comes out of the Native Nations area, and that came out of the White Bison project out of Colorado with Don Cornelius, and that group out there, they started that, and I didn't know anything about it when we started 5 years ago, but I learned real quickly. It's an important part of recovery. But it's just how we work at it. So that's the Wellbriety side. And that's about much of the information as I normally have. I kind of go and talk to my counterparts with the tribe, and they give me the data. So, it's been a blessing to learn more about it each year that I'm getting closer to it.
Mm-hmm. And what's really great is the connections and the collaborations that you have in bringing this together. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, what we did, first of all, and I was just telling Jessica, I couldn't remember, 5 years ago, 2014, the event came from Newport to Walport. And that was unique in itself because this is the 11th annual event of Hands Across the Bridge in Lincoln County. It was here for, the first whatever that would be, we've had it 5, 6, 7 years here. Finally, what had happened is the bridge was not big enough to accommodate the event.
Hard to imagine that the Yaquina Bay Bridge wasn't big enough.
Well, for people to be on it and
Right.
ODOT and getting the permits and everything, it was getting to be dangerous. So the biggest bridge in Lincoln County is in Walport. And so I was asked what did I think about being involved with it. So that's where Celebrate Recovery came in. I am the state rep for Celebrate Recovery for this area and the team lead for all of Oregon. And so we are part of it from Celebrate Recovery side. The Confederate Tribes of Celeste Indians, they're a major partner of ours that works in getting us shirts, food, and everything. And they bring the drummers. The whole thing comes together that way. Chance joined us 2 years ago, and it's a great partnership with them because they work in recovery hand in hand with the peer support. Reconnections is a sponsor. Seashore Family Literacy down in Walport. We use the building. They're part of it. They cook the food. PATA has been involved with it from the get-go. Lincoln County Public Health is a major partner, and of course Lincoln County Sheriff is involved because that day we'll have drug take back for medicines. So
Awesome.
that all comes together as partners. Then we bring in people to be involved with it the day of the event.
And when is the day of the event?
It is September 21st, Saturday, starts at 11:30 at the Interpretive Center at Elsie Bay. So if you came over the bridge, and as soon as you get to the edge of the bridge, there's the building. Got to get to the backside there, and we will be there. 12 o'clock, we will start across the bridge. The best we've ever done is just a hair over 2/3. The bridge is the bridge is a mile long, so to get us across it's tough. About 12:30, we will go back to the Seashore Literacy Center at 265 Southwest Bay Street, and from 12:30 to about 3, we will have people that are recovery. I'm going to say experts. There are people that we come to. They will be there. So PADA, Celebrate Recovery, Dual Diagnosis from Portland is coming. We have AA, NA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. I think we have a smoking one this year that I didn't.
Oh.
That's called me and said,
Awesome.
"Can I come?" The harm reduction team is coming, so they'll be there. I got many people that want to be involved. So, and we all come together in the same place to be in recovery. At the same time, we'll do. Our keynote speaker this year is Jason Tuning. He's a longtime resident of Lincoln County and from South County. And then we have several mini-monies, we call them, about 10-minute testimonies of what recovery has done in a person's lives. So,
And let's talk a little bit about the Hands Across the Bridge. This is something that's not just done in Lincoln County. It's done in many other areas, including Portland. So how did this get started in Lincoln County?
I'm going to give you, because I started in 2000, I actually started in 2005, 11 years ago, and Jennifer Versteeg tells this story better than I do, from Lincoln. Walter Ackerman Jr. was involved with something to do with alcohol, and he was killed. And I don't know the whole story how that all worked, but the bottom line was that they felt that this was an event that they would be able to surround themselves with. Portland is the Hands Across the Bridge guru. On last Monday, they had over 3,000 people that
Wow.
stretched across the I-5 bridge, starting in Portland and starting in Vancouver and coming to the middle. Two ladies, Patty Katz and the young lady from Vancouver, I can't remember her name, but they were the first two that ever did it in 2002. And they met in the middle of the I-5 bridge and joined hands in recovery. And now there's over 3,000 people that do it. It's all across Oregon. There's an event on the 16th down in Marion County. I know that. There's one down in Southern Oregon. I believe it's the same weekend we are, or the weekend after. It's always on a Saturday, and the process is the same. The Vancouver side of the Hands Across the Bridge, they have a big Ox Fest, music, huge. On the Portland side, they have a huge party. I say party. Us guys that were in addiction, we understand party, but it's a clean party.
Clean party.
Yeah.
And then of course we do also. We'll have eats and drinks and it's just people walking together. The one thing that I talk about in the people I get to meet in recovery that is so important for people that are in recovery is you need to have a new set of friends. Well, this event you meet new friends.
I was just going to talk about that, how imperative it is. That's one of the biggest struggles from my understanding of getting out of addiction is seeing the same people that are still doing those same bad habits and making those same poor choices. And that's a real struggle because those people were your friends and even in some cases your family. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is to move on and have solid people that you can count on to help you further your recovery?
Of course, yeah, and Rick will hop back in here as well because he's the expert. But it's so important, you know, if you are in the same area, if you're with the same people who are using drugs or whatever that problem behavior is, you're going to be seeing those triggers, right? It might be the house that you used to always go to. It might be, you know, the friend that would bring over things. Whatever that is, you know, you're going to be triggered and you're going to be exposed. But I want to acknowledge too, you know, we have friends, whether they are participating in healthy behaviors or unhealthy behaviors. We have friends because we need a connection. You know, we're all people. Trust me, I do like to be alone, and I do need to recover from people time. But as a person, you need that connection, and you need to, I just think that Hands Across the Bridge is the perfect metaphor of just reaching across and letting people know that they're not alone. You know, whether it's you that has the addiction or a mental health disorder, or if you're a family member or someone supporting someone else. And I think what's great about this event, like you said, is it's an opportunity for people to meet new people and to meet people that are, you know, trying to kick addictions and trying to go through treatment and recover. But it's also this great opportunity to see how many people in the community really care about you. And, you know, they care about this community, and maybe I don't know you, but look, you know, we have all these organizations, we have all of these people that have come out, you know, on their personal time to say, we're here, we care, we see you, and we want you to get better.
I like that. We see you. That's
We see
important.
you. Well, there's no condemnation among thieves, as you hear that word. But in recovery, the one thing that is a big stigma for those that are walking in it is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting
A different result.
And we're not saying that you separate totally from your friends, but if your friends aren't walking the recovery program you are, they're not trying to trip you up, but what they're doing will trip you up. And from the Celebrate Recovery mindset, Jess kind of said some of the addictions. There's a lot of addictions that are not illegal, immoral, or unhealthy. Eating is an addiction. And if you're if you're a person that goes to a party and there's all sugars there, well, that's a trigger. So what we try to do in our recovery walks is to make sure that we surround ourselves with people that will help us get to where we're going. I mean, I was a 32-year drinker, and honestly, today it isn't my day. Next Thursday will be 15 years I'll be sober.
Congratulations.
And when I say that, this year of all years, I drank 32 years. I haven't even made it halfway of not drinking. But every day, and that's what this is all about, is the next day closer to when I will meet that 16th year. But 15 years that's a good milestone. But there will be people at this event that have been sober for 38 years, 40 years, and they're still walking in recovery because
It never ends. It's a constant struggle.
we
isn't
have
it?
people that say, "Well, I'm a former recovering addict." Well, you're not a former recovering addict. You're always recovering. It's the mindset, and that's what Jess tells us. It's your mindset. You've changed, but it's like everything else. When you grew up a certain stigma. You did it this way, and in recovery, you know, do I ever think of a beer? When it's hot
Every
and
day.
I'm working it hard, but will I have one? I have too many people that surround me that, you know, if I did, the first thing is they said, okay, let's start again. Second of all,
And just the thought of for me, the thought of that, of working so hard to reach a goal of 15 years and to blow it and have to start all over again would be
it's one drink.
awful.
And that's what it's one drink, but that's what happens is some of us get into that, and that's where the rest of the recovery items get in the way, is because, as I talk when I go inside tonight, thank you for coming today. I'm going inside to do Celebrate Recovery inside. I remind the gentleman I get to meet, you're not who you was, you are who you is. You're not who you're going to be. And they go, what does that mean? Can't fix yesterday. When you wake up tomorrow, what day really is it? It's today. So what day do I get to work on? Today. It's the same with the drinking. If I reach today, I would have to start my next today. But I'm lucky I have friends that are always there.
I think that's important. Okay, I wanna. Yeah, can you pause it? Or I mean,
Yeah.
you'll be able
Oh,
to
yeah.
get it out.
I was
Sorry.
thinking that. No, I was thinking that the whole time.
I was thinking
oh, no,
that. I was
can't.
like, oh, I didn't close the door
No, you
behind
don't
me.
lock it.
And I just want to make sure everything's going good. Okay. And I'll wait till you sit back down so I know you're centered.
Sorry. So
No.
either.
I was like, okay, We can cut most of that out and we just stop, but I didn't want you to continue until we have that in there. Okay, let's scoot forward. All right, and we're good.
My daughter will just cut that out. Yeah, she's an expert in editing.
She's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the programs that are offered through Lincoln County to help those who may need help. If you're seeing this video, if you come to one of the events and you're at that realization point where you don't want to do this anymore, you want help, what help is available?
I do want to say really quickly as well, you know, you mentioned people that have been in recovery for many years and you feel like you blow it. Don't give up hope, right? We're all human.
Mhm.
We all make mistakes. That doesn't mean it's over, right? That means, okay, we're going to take another step forward. We're going to keep going. And, you know, whether that means getting into a treatment program or, you know, contacting your sponsor or whatever step that means, that's okay. And that's still a step forward. As far as treatment programs that are available, Lincoln County has an excellent mental health counseling team or behavioral health, and they also see people with addictions. We have a great problem gambling treatment team. I work in problem gambling, so that one I know very, very well. They also have some community groups that people can stop in, you know, and share where they are in their process of recovery or addiction, or even realizing that there's a problem there. And if you are interested in contacting Lincoln County Behavioral Health, there are youth services as well as services for adults. So we're able to serve anybody in Lincoln County, whether you have insurance or no insurance. It's a sliding.
That's really important.
It's so important. Yeah, we don't want there to be any more barriers. You know, there's already the barrier of stigma, feeling ashamed, you know, being embarrassed and everything like that. We don't want you to experience any of those barriers. So payment is not something that's going to stop you from taking this plunge into recovery. But our behavioral health line is 541-574-5960. And if you also look up our website, Lincoln County, you will also find our services there. And I know you've got a bunch of services.
Oh, we got, well, like I said, I gave you a quick one. We have dual diagnosis that will be an on-site PADA. We have Cedar from Silet's Alcoholics Anonymous. Al-Anon will be visiting with us at our time, but they're here in town. Celebrate Recovery, there are 3 of them in Lincoln County. Monday nights are Toledo, Tuesday nights are here in South Beach, and they're up in Lincoln City. Presently there are none in South County, but if you call the number that is on the pamphlet that I give you, this certain nice guy will call and talk to you. He'll pick you up and bring you to a CR. Narcotics Anonymous, Reconnections, Discovery Counseling, they're available to you. Down in South County, we have a psychologist who's down there, and she works with us if a person is in need, and it's great there. The Lincoln County Mental Health Advisory and the Addiction Prevention and Recovery Committees, which are meet right here. We're here for you. Lincoln County Drug and Hope Court, Chance, my sister's place, CARE from the Silet's Tribe, Powerhouse Detox. That's just some of the people that we're going to invite this year and have said that they're coming.
So there's lots of different avenues available for those in need.
There's a lot of, and everybody that I haven't mentioned, and I know them all pretty much personally, nobody's looking down on you. Because that's not today that happened. That was yesterday, and there's nothing we can do about yesterday. We can only work on today.
Now, do you also work, you mentioned, you know, working with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. Do you also work with inmates who are getting out and looking to start over again?
Well, I have an opportunity every Wednesday that our team comes in, and we are working in that arena. And of course, we know the Community Corrections group real well. I'm on the Lincoln County Sheriff's Community Action Group, Advisory Group. There's 12 of us. So we've had an opportunity to go to the taps houses and everything and learn. So when I get to go inside, of course I don't get to see the ladies, but our team also comes, and we're preparing them for what is happening when they're coming up, to be ready, to get, to be ready, to get out there and don't put your head down. That's my common saying. Do not put your head down. Nobody's looking down on you. You don't need to be looking down either. And so we talk a lot about that inside. We're working for that. As Jess said, and it's so true, is that we have to remind ourselves that, you know, we built this up over time. You know, one of my testimony that I talk to people about is I'm an adult child of an alcoholic environment. My parents were awesome. They raised 7 kids. In my day and age, the one soothing thing was come home, drink a couple beers. Well, that also caused arguments and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I said I'd never be like my parents. I became. Now my kids didn't become like their dad, they became like their mom.
Well, I was gonna say, education is also really key.
Yes.
I know my background, my ex-husband has addictive personality, and in raising my son, I constantly, from the time he was little, was telling him, you are prone to an addictive personality. You have to really watch what you do and know the difference between recreation and addiction.
I think one thing that's so important too, you know, you mentioned kids, is talking to our kids now. You know, there's not a time that's too early to talk to them about substances or risky behavior. We have some talk kits that I've printed out, and I will post them in the comments on the video link. But for how to talk to your kids about vaping, marijuana, alcohol, problem gambling, things like that. Because if we don't talk about it, right, where are their skills to make an educated decision or to make a decision that's best for them, you know, for their body and their health now, but also for their future. And we know that parents or caregivers are the most influential people on their kids.
Yes.
So if a child knows that their parent would strongly disapprove of them using alcohol, they are most likely not going to use alcohol. So a lot of the influence lays with you.
And learning the skills to teach kids how to handle that in social pressure environments, which is really important.
We're lucky in a lot of our recovery circles, Al-Anon, I mentioned them, that's a group that is from the kids up through the parents and how to deal with it. In Celebrate Recovery, we have 2 groups called Celebration Place, and we have the Landing. Celebration Place is kids 6 to 13. We call that pre-recovery.
Oh, awesome.
Because what we learn in our groups with adults, they're learning the same thing in their groups at their age. So when they go home, they both have the same topic to talk about. And then our landing is our teenagers, which is the most vulnerable age of all, because they have those friends that want you to be cool. Well, I didn't ever run with the cool guys when I was going to school. I just learned how to do it when I got out of school. But cool's okay. The problem is, and I mention it to our guys inside all the time, I asked how many people do we have dads? And most of the guys raise their hands. And I said that you did one good thing in your life, so never look down, always look to your kids. And that's really what we need to do. We need to think more about our kids.
Absolutely. All right, Jessica, is there anything else that you want to add?
The theme this year for Recovery Month is Join the Voices of Recovery, Together We're Stronger. And I think that summarizes it so beautifully. You know, we have resources, prevention we know is effective, we know that treatment works, and we know people recover. So really putting in that groundwork and having those conversations now can help a lot of people.
That's amazing. And don't forget about Hands Across the Bridge.
Yep. Come early. I know we have T-shirts because we do give T-shirts. You need to come to the bridge to get them. And I think they're black again this year. We went red last year. It's a great time there to come and visit friends. Yes, it's a little far down to Waldport, but
It's worth the drive. It's beautiful.
The town that day has Cruising for Crab. That's a big event down there. They have car shows. There's a lot of other things to do down in South County, but walk across the bridge. But that's also going to happen.
And bring your prescription drugs, anything that's unused or expired.
Right.
Waldport does not have a permanent Dropbox location, but the Sheriff's Office is really kind and they open up a
And
temporary site
There will be a person there to collect from whatever this is.
from, I think, 10 to 2.
Yep, from 10 to 2
10 to 2.
at the sheriff's substation. So if you have those things, bring them in. It's no questions asked, they're just gonna take them and dispose of them. And if you're thinking, well, do I need it, do I not?
Even your pets stuff,
Absolutely.
that's important too. Any medications that you have, it's a good opportunity. Go through that cabinet or those cupboards and just put everything in a little plastic bag
Take it to the
and
sheriff.
take it and get it disposed of.
Absolutely. It protects your family, it protects the environment.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for joining us on Health Talk.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being there, and the word getting out is the main thing.
And we look forward to the 21st, Hands Across the Bridge in Walport for another season. And thanks for joining me on Pacific Northwest News and Entertainment. I'm Kira Morgan.